See, intellect is that which keeps your awareness and alertness going. Every child believes that father is the most strong person.
Namaste. Welcome to our series on Wellness Wisdom. We have with us Sri Ishwaran. In our last episode, we spoke about the mind and its emotions. And in this episode, we shall speak about the features of the intellect. Namaste, sir.
Namaste.
Sir, we have been using the word intellect. And you said that only human beings have an intellect. Can you explain a little more about the concept of intellect?
Yeah. Intellect means the capacity to gain knowledge and capacity to manage mind. Your intellect has these two features. One aspect of your intellect is to gain knowledge from the world. Another aspect is to manage the mind. The impulses, emotions and likes and dislikes and desires of the mind, it has to manage. These two functions are there only for human beings. If you see how we have developed this intellect, in the early stages of humanity, we were also living exactly like animals only. What is the life of an animal? They live a life of just gazing. They just live perception. They just see things and live. That's about it. Here, he, there, and then they live their life just going about mechanical. A long period of time, we moved from that age of gazing to what we call the age of superstition. When we say superstition, what we mean is we started connecting to experiences. In the age of perception, experience. That's about it. There is no connection at all. Next stage is where we started attempting to make connections, but we have started wrong connections. That's called superstition, where the cause and effect relationship is not established clearly. Move to the next stage. Of course, this is far superior stage to the age of perception, age of gazing. Then humanity moved to the next stage called the age of scientific inquiry, where we make the connections proper. Age of superstition is what? Something. Crow comes, my grandmother used to say, when crow comes to a house, that means your guests are coming today. What is the connection between crow and the guest? There's no connection. You see, simply make two things linked. In the age of scientific inquiry, we probe into the principles and laws that govern this cause and effect. That's where we established the apple is falling down. Why? Because of gravity. It is not that somebody is standing there and pulling. It's not something like that. There is a proper connection we have established. That is the age of scientific inquiry. Is the development attained its peak? No. There is one more step we go for humans. That is the age of contemplation, where you start questioning the very law that is governing. Like, why it is 32 feet per second per second? Age of scientific inquiry will say it is 32 feet per second per second. But then, who fixed it 32 feet? Why that got fixed into 32 feet? Why not 40? Why not 20? How come this and this mixes a combustible gas, the supporter of combustion mixes, produces water, which is an extinguisher of combustion? How? Logically not possible, right? How that has happened? Who is deciding? Probing into this and unearthing the principles beyond the terrestrial realm, conceiving something far, far superior to this, is the age of contemplation. So how, if you see the history of human intellect's development, age of perception, age of superstition, age of scientific inquiry, age of contemplation. Having said that, what you have to understand is, right now, there is a section of humanity living in the age of perception. There are people who are living in the age of superstition, age of scientific inquiry, age of contemplation. Exactly like if you take human beings, there are kids, there are infants, there are teenagers, there are adults, there are old people. Everybody is there, no? All put together is what we call as human species. Same way, human intellect also classified into these 4 sections. In human, everybody is there right now.
And within the same person also, can you have all sections?
Possible. But at any given point of time, you are in one place. If you see your own self as a child, you are just living perception, perception, perception. That's it. I felt hungry, I eat. I don't feel hungry, this. That's why a child fights with a person and immediately goes and plays with the same person. It doesn't connect. It's not out of wisdom or anything. It is only that it forgets that. That perception is over. Next perception, next perception, next perception. Age of perception. Then every child believes that father is the most strong person. Like my daughter asked me when she was small, not now. Can you fight him? I said, where is a chance? Because we are watching this Bruce Lee movie. She was saying, you can fight. She genuinely thought I can fight with Bruce Lee. There's no connection. She cannot understand all that. Why? That's a child. Age of superstition. Then comes proper connections, cause and effect. Then you work, you reach to the age of contemplation. So in a human being also you have that. In one human being, also in human species also we have a group of people living in those things.
So, we have spoken about the intellect, but during the course of our conversation, we have been talking about wisdom, intellect and wisdom. Are they the same things or are they two different things?
Yeah, you can use them as synonymous terms. But if you strictly wanted to make a distinction, I would say intellect is the equipment which gains wisdom. The first phase of intellect is to gain knowledge. It gains information. When you gain information and if you process that information, digest and assimilate that information transforms into wisdom. So there are stages in that. First one, you receive information which is called as knowledge. Second step, you process that. Third, assimilate. That assimilated stage is what is referred as wisdom. Exactly like, how do you get strength to your body? you eat. Just because you are eating food doesn't mean you will get strength. You have to eat nutritional food, number one. Number two, your digestive system should have the capacity to absorb the nutrient value that is there in the food. Then you get strength. The problem we have is, we all think the moment I receive that knowledge, that itself is equal to wisdom. The problem is very visible in all of us when we see people contrasting to the knowledge and their lifestyle. I've seen doctors who advise patients not to smoke. After consultation, he goes out and takes a smoke. People who are marriage counselors have broken marriage. There is a problem in his marriage, but he is a marriage counselor. Now, why is it that my own knowledge, my own understanding is not available to me when it is required?
Correct.
You see, that is the difference between wisdom, intellect, knowledge. If you wanted to take, intellect is that which takes in that knowledge, processes it, converts that into wisdom. And with wisdom, intellect is able to guide actions properly, manage mind properly. Or else, you will receive that knowledge, keep that knowledge with you. That knowledge will be useful for everybody except you. Like you must have heard this curse of Karna in Mahabharata. Parashurama, in some context, his guru, some context, he cursed Karna. The curse of Karna was, all that I have taught you will not be remembered by you when you needed it the most. It's a curse of Karna. One of the fascinating curses. To think why he said like that. And if you see all our life, we are also living like that only. All of us are representatives of Karna only. My knowledge is not available to me. My knowledge of dealing with the problem. That's why all of us are fantastic philosophers if the problem is somebody else's. When I encounter the same problem, I go and console the other fellow. Oh, you lost your wife. So sad. What to do? All that. 1 year later, I lose my wife. That fellow will come to my house and say the same thing to me. Why I can't console myself with that same knowledge? Why that problem? Is because we have not converted that knowledge into wisdom. The conversion process is called the process of investigation, inquiry, thinking, manana in Sanskrit. Mananam is reflection. When you reflect, inquire, investigate independently from the knowledge that you have received, that will become wisdom. With wisdom, you live your life.
So, you mean to say that all human beings have the same level of intellect? And if not, then how are individuals different from each other with respect to intellect?
See, intellect is that which keeps your awareness and alertness going. How alert you are, how sensitive you are, defines the strength of your intellect. Now, what we mean by awareness or alertness is, many a times we feel sorry for what we have done. Correct? I don't think I should have shouted at this person. No, this is too much, right? I don't think I should have done that. Who says that? You yourself say that. Who shouted? You. Now who is saying I should not have done that? You. Then what is the difference between that you who shouted, this you who is saying I should not have? Which means there are two yous, is it? What has transpired? What is the difference? Imagine if you were to have that understanding or this alertness at that time. This is where we take a clue. Say, there are different grades of intellect we have. The best we'll start with. The best of intellect is alert and aware much before the action. Anticipates and prepares itself to face the experience. Much before actual experience to happen. So it is well cautious, much before. Next grade will be, it's not alert before the action. During the action, halfway through, it gets alertness. It starts, but then, no, I think wrong. Second. Third level is after the action. Fourth level is after the consequence. No intellect is, even after the consequence, it's not alert. Not aware. This is the grade. 5 levels are there. Best intellect is that which anticipates and be ready. Like you see this, batsmen. They anticipate the bowler is going to bowl this and he is ready for that. He can score. There's no problem for him. There is another style is as the ball is coming, he is deciding. Third one is after the ball has left, you have seen batsman's doing that. He will show straight. He will show. What he is doing is what? He is visualizing within himself as though the ball is coming now and he is playing. Ball is gone already. Another one is he is not even aware after getting out also. Various levels are there. Now you have to find out where you stand. The worst scenario is not even aware after the consequences. Even after suffering so much, we are not aware of what has caused this problem to all of us. Attribute to so many things. We attribute it to some external cause. Everyone experiences stress, strain, struggle, disturbance. Where? When I do my field of action. I slog and try to build a skill for me to function in a particular field. And when you have to perform in that field, he says, execution, performing, working in that field, causing me stress. If I have to play football, I say, I'm getting stressed, man. I'm so tense, I don't know what to do. There's a meaning because you don't have any skill of football. Correct. But a football player, that's what we see amongst all these people. The cricketer says, for team building, we are playing volleyball. And the person who is a volleyball player, professional volleyball player says, for us to de-stress, we go for a long drive. And the lady of the house says, cooking is painful for me. Weekends, kitchen closed. Right. Student says, I am stressed out studying. So each one of us suffer from the problem of this, but still we don't know what is the cause. Where is the intellect in the scale? We think it is triggered by external. He is the cause, he is the cause. If I am not able to point out somebody, I will say 2G. I always say 2G is there always to save us. Government, God. Either I blame on government, the problem is all because of government, I will say, or government, when I say, what I mean is society. It's all social problems, sir. This problem, sir. That problem. Because I can't pinpoint anyone. Right. If I were to say, it's the medical practitioners is the problem, all the doctors will file a case on me. If I say lawyers is a problem, the lawyers will file a case on me. If I say politicians is a problem, politicians will file a case on me. If I say celebrity will file a case on me. Suppose if I say society, which means celebrity plus politician plus lawyer plus doctor, everybody, but nobody will file a case on me. Therefore, all of us will say what? Put the blame on that. Therefore, I am not the cause of it, sir. Don't put that responsibility of me suffering from stress on my shoulders. If I am not able to say that, always we have one fellow sitting on top. He is the reason, sir. This is the problem. Where is our intellect right now? So, two things I have given you. One, age of perception, superstition, scientific inquiry, contemplation. Second one, grade. Before action, during action, after consequence. Because many times we register that we have made a mistake after consequence. Worst is, even after consequence, you are not aware of what you have done. That's the worst case scenario. Now you decide where you stand.
Thank you, sir, for this very knowledgeable session on features of the intellect and the rule of 4 that you've given twice in this series. I think our viewers would have also enjoyed it and learned from it. Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you for staying with us in this intellect-based series in our episodes of Wellness Wisdom. We will be back again with another episode.
Click on the bell icon to watch our latest videos.